What's up, guys? This is Jovan Sham and you're watching EcoBiz Academy. So in this video, we'll be covering Chapter 6 of Business Studies, Paper 2. So this is basically the A-level part. And the name of the chapter is Business and its Environment. So what is economic growth? Economic growth is basically when the economy has high GDP, which basically causes an increase in consumer income. Now, what's inflation? Inflation is a rise in the general price of a good or service over time. What causes inflation? We have several causes of inflation. Firstly, it can be caused by a rise in demand and a decrease in supply. Also, when the number of population inside the economy increases, this will cause the inflation to also increase. Let me give you guys an example of inflation to help you understand the concept. So, imagine an economy has 20,000 people, but we produce 1,000 clothes and 1,000 number of or quantity of wheat. How are we going to satisfy the total demand of the economy? This is when the inflation will be caused, because we have a lot of number of people inside the economy, but we have very little supply of goods. Okay, moving on. Next topic, we have unemployment. So unemployment is basically the number of people that are willing and able to work, but cannot find a job to do. Now, there are some reasons for unemployment. We have maybe gender, maybe these aren't family. We have gender, we have age, and we also have pregnancy. Now, when we have high unemployment, the consumer spending decreases. This is because there are less number of people who have the income to actually purchase goods. This basically means that sales will decrease. Now, when there's low unemployment, this basically causes the consumer income to increase. Therefore, the consumer spending will also increase. What are exchange rates? Exchange rates are basically the spending, because of course they have the money to spend. Situation whereby a country or an economy exchanges the currency with another economy. Now, a possible advantage of this is appreciation. Now, appreciation is basically when another economy has higher purchasing power, or has a higher purchasing power basically. So basically, I don't know how many times I said basically, but anyway, when an economy has higher currency value, this means that when the currencies exchange, the value will appreciate, because we have higher purchasing power, so you can purchase more goods and services, and there will be more imports. Now, the same with depreciation. Depreciation is a possible disadvantage, because depreciation is when the value of the currency decreases, which will cause less imports. Hopefully you've understood. You can tell me in the comment section below the questions and concerns. Moving on. So we have environmental issues. So what does this mean? Environmental issues is basically the effect of the business's activity on the environment. Now this of course can be positive or negative, which in economics can be classified as positive and negative externalities, which, by the way, feel free to check out that video which I made a while ago. So what is the response? What is the negative effect of the environment, of the business decisions on the environment? Firstly, we have air pollution, which is basically just when the sky or to air as polluted. And then we have water pollution, which is basically when there's harmful or toxic water. Now, what do you think is the business's response to all these negative effects? Firstly, the business can buy some sustainable resources, or they can switch to a sustainable resource instead of using these non-renewable resources. Of course, an example of renewable resource is wind power, as you can see. That's the thing. That was not my hand. Or we can use the sunlight or solar energy. In conclusion, these environmental measures will increase the cost in the short run, but in the long run, a lot of benefits. Next topic, guys, we have ethical issues. Now, what are ethical issues? Basically, ethical issues are basically those laws that prohibit the right and the wrong inside the business decisions. So basically, can guide the business decisions. So basically, these ethical issues, they can prevent. Examples of ethical issues are inappropriate care of the elderly inside the business and other things like that. Next topic, we have business growth. Now, business growth is basically the means taken by the business which will maximize or increase the market share. They can also increase the economies of scale. They can also increase the economy. Now, we have two types of business growth. We have organic growth and inorganic growth. Organic growth is the growth which is utilized from the profit which is generated inside the business after the sale of product. So after the business sells products, the business can choose or decide to use that profit and reinsert it to the business as general reserve or capital the next year. Now that capital can increase the business size, which will cause business growth. That's organic growth. Now I have inorganic growth, which is the growth which is caused by merging and takeover. I've covered these two topics, merging and takeover, in another video. Feel free to check it out. Actually short. So let me make a quick summary of takeover, merger, franchisee, and joint venture. So basically, merger is when one business agrees to form a new entity together, whereas takeover is when one business has an advantage of maybe higher business size, higher market. Therefore, they can take over another business. Therefore, they cannot exist together. Now, joint venture is when one business agrees and joins with another business. So they basically agree and make one business. Whereas
franchisee is when one business gets a legal basically allowance to
franchisee is when one firm gives allowance or allows another business to use its brand and to use its brand name to basically to form another smaller business. An example of this is KFC. There was one big KFC maybe in America, but now we see millions and thousands of little KFCs around the whole world. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.